Jerusalem. A city revered and reviled, a jewel fought over for centuries. It is holy to three of the world's major religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, and yet, paradoxically, a city that has rarely known peace. Its story is a tapestry of triumph, tragedy, faith, and blood. Today, the air in its streets carries a tension that is almost palpable, a living memory of countless battles, exiles, and return journeys. Modern-day Jerusalem is a city divided by invisible lines as much as by walls and checkpoints. Its skyline is dotted with mosques, churches, and synagogues, coexisting uneasily in a fragile equilibrium. The calls to prayer echo alongside church bells and the chants of Jewish worshippers. On one street, families stroll in cafes. Around the corner, tension simmers. A quarrel here can escalate, a festival there can spark unrest. For many, Jerusalem is both a city of hope and a symbol of conflict, a microcosm of the Middle East itself. But to understand why Jerusalem has become this eternal battleground, we have to step back, not decades, not centuries, but thousands of years. Its history is not just a record of kings and conquerors, but of human ambition, faith, and survival. Every stone in the old city has witnessed the rise and fall of empires. Every wall, every gate, carries the imprint of those who have claimed it as theirs. A city born from myth and reality. The origins of Jerusalem are shrouded in legend and mystery. Some scholars suggest it was a Canaanite settlement as early as 3000 BC, a cluster of houses perched on a strategic hilltop overlooking valleys and springs. Water, after all, was life. The Gin Spring, still flowing today, was the lifeblood of the city, sustaining crops, livestock, and people. Early Jerusalem was modest in size but already central in imagination. Even before the rise of Judaism, Jerusalem held a symbolic allure. Its location, between mountains and desert, a natural fortress, made it a place of refuge and ritual. Archaeologists uncover remnants of temples, fortifications, and burial sites, each telling a story of devotion, conquest, or survival. But in these early centuries, the city was just one of many in the Levant, not yet the holy capital of three faiths. Yet the seeds of a future struggle were planted early. Canaanites, Egyptians, and later, Israelites would all see Jerusalem not merely as land, but as a symbol of legitimacy, divine favor, and power. And in the crucible of such symbolism, conflict was inevitable. Why Jerusalem? The eternal magnet. What makes Jerusalem unique? Why has it been fought over more than almost any other city in the world? Partly geography, partly faith, partly imagination. Geographically, it is perched at the intersection of Africa and Asia, linking the Fertile Crescent to Mediterranean trade routes. Whoever controlled Jerusalem controlled the strategic heart of the region. Economically, militarily, and culturally, it was a prize no conqueror could ignore. Spiritually, its magnetism is unparalleled. For Jews, it is the site of the Temple Mount, the eternal center of God's covenant with Israel. For Christians, it is the city where Jesus walked, preached, and was crucified, a living relic of salvation and sacrifice. For Muslims, it is home to the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock, where the Prophet Muhammad is believed to have ascended to heaven in the night journey. Jerusalem is not just territory, it is sacred space, a city where heaven and earth meet. This dual nature, strategic and spiritual, makes the city a perfect storm for conflict. Armies have marched for it, prophets have prayed for it, empires have crumbled over it. Its streets have seen every human emotion: love, devotion, fear, betrayal, hope, and despair. A city of layers. Walking through Jerusalem, you feel the weight of history pressing on every corner. Every street, every gate, every stone carries the imprint of countless generations, builders, conquerors, pilgrims, and exiles. The city is literally built on top of itself, layers of civilization stacking on top of earlier layers: Canaanite walls, Roman streets, Byzantine churches, Ottoman markets, British colonial remnants. This is not just history you read about in textbooks, it is history you feel under your feet. You feel it in the heat of the midday sun beating down on the western wall, in the quiet shadowed alleyways where whispered prayers and secret meetings occur, and in the calls to prayer echoing across the ancient stones. Jerusalem is alive with memory. But why this city? Why, among the countless cities in the Middle East, has Jerusalem captured the imagination of the world? Geography meets destiny. Part of the answer lies in geography. Jerusalem sits on a hilltop plateau between mountains and desert, overlooking the Kidron and Hinnom valleys. Its location provided natural defense, fresh water from the Gin spring, and fertile soil for early agriculture. Controlling Jerusalem meant controlling trade routes connecting Africa, Asia, and the Mediterranean, an invaluable prize for any empire. Yet geography alone does not explain its magnetism. Jerusalem is also a city of faith, a place where the earthly and divine converge. For Jews, it is the site of the Temple Mount, the eternal center of God's covenant. For Christians, it is where Jesus walked, preached, and was crucified. For Muslims, it is home to Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock, sites associated with the Prophet Muhammad's night journey and ascension to heaven. A city that is both strategically vital and spiritually sacred is inevitably a city of tension. Throughout history, armies have marched to seize it, rulers have fought to control it, and ordinary people have endured its upheavals. The drama of Jerusalem is not confined to the past. It continues today, in daily life and in international headlines. Modern Jerusalem, a city divided. In modern times, Jerusalem is a city of contrasts. West Jerusalem is modern, bustling, and predominantly Israeli. East Jerusalem, including the Old City, is Palestinian majority, retaining the architecture and atmosphere of centuries past. These divisions are not just physical, they are psychological, cultural, and spiritual. Checkpoint crossings, ID verifications, and curfews remind residents that the past is never far behind. The city is politically charged, yet life continues. Street vendors sell fresh produce, children play near ancient walls, and pilgrims from around the world wander through sacred spaces. Even amid tension, Jerusalem demonstrates the human capacity to adapt and coexist, however fragile that coexistence may be. Here, stories are not only about armies or emperors but about ordinary lives caught in extraordinary circumstances. Families separated by borders, shopkeepers negotiating daily life under regulations, teenagers navigating religious and cultural divides. Their lives are entwined with the city's history. Every act, every choice, is shadowed by Jerusalem's enduring legacy. A history written in stone. Jerusalem's history stretches back thousands of years. Archaeological digs reveal evidence of Canaanite settlements around 3000 BC, with mud brick houses, fortifications, and religious artifacts. Early inhabitants revered the Gin spring, the city's lifeline, and built altars and shrines to honor their gods. Trade routes brought goods, ideas, and conflict. Even in these early days, Jerusalem was a meeting point of civilizations and ambitions. By 1000 BC, Jerusalem had become the capital of King David's united Israelite kingdom. His son Solomon built the first temple, transforming the city into a holy capital, a place where faith, power, and identity intertwined. Conquerors and empires, Babylonians, Persians, Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, Muslims, Crusaders, Mamluks, Ottomans, and the British, each left their mark, layering the city with politics, religion, and culture. Every conquest, every building project, every act of destruction added a new layer to the city's complex identity. And through it all, ordinary people endured, prayed, fought, and rebuilt. Jerusalem became both a physical and spiritual battleground, its streets and stones chronicling the story of human ambition, devotion, and survival. Faith and conflict. Jerusalem's uniqueness lies in its concentration of faith and meaning. Its sacred sites are not simply landmarks. They are anchors for identity, culture, and spirituality. The Western Wall is more than ancient stones. It is a symbol of endurance, faith, and the longing for home. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre is more than architecture. It is a site where millions of Christians feel closer to God. The Dome of the Rock is not only a religious monument, it is a symbol of divine ascension, political authority, and cultural achievement. Faith has been a source of inspiration but also conflict. Armies have stormed the city, massacres have occurred, and rulers have wielded religion as a weapon. The spiritual and temporal are inseparable in Jerusalem, making it a city that inspires devotion and stirs controversy. The eternal question: can a city so sacred to so many ever be truly shared? History offers lessons of coexistence and conflict, mercy and massacre. Jerusalem embodies the best and worst of humanity, our capacity for faith, resilience, and compassion, as well as our capacity for ambition, violence, and division. Perhaps the ultimate lesson of Jerusalem is that ownership is less important than stewardship. The city teaches humility, reminding all who enter that it belongs to history, to faith, and to the generations yet unborn. A montage of 3 overlapping prayers, Jewish, Christian, and Muslim, blends into a harmonious echo. The screen goes black. The title appears: Jerusalem, the Eternal Battleground.